Ladies and gentlemen, the following podcast is set for one episode. Your host from Columbus, Ohio, is Michael Kirk. Welcome to the Outlaw Mudcast. Hello and welcome to the Outlaw Mudcast, your digital audio dirt sheet for all things Super Show. Top story this week, the 2024 Create a Competitor Competition Finals happened this past Wednesday, March 19th. We had Rambopocalypse versus the Misfit versus Mr. Rumble. It was the first ever triple threat triad finals match. They brought in a panel of judges to judge the finals. The way that the finals match had worked is that each person in the finals, each competitor, sent in two videos. One, a 30-second intro video talking about the competitor themselves, just a general video overview, and then they sent in their promo video. The promo videos had a maximum length of 5 minutes, although not all of them went that long. In this particular match, they started off showing the Misfits videos. They showed his 30-second video and then his promo video, done as many of his videos in his cartoon style. Then we saw the 30-second video from Will Priest and then the Rambopocalypse promo. And then we had the Ron Frazier 30-second video and the Mr. Rumble promo video. I realized I didn't say it. The Misfit, the 30-second Joel Stinson talking about the Misfit video, and then the Misfit cartoon. And then the judges, after seeing these videos, made their decisions. Let me talk briefly about who the judges were. The first judge introduced was Matthew Cambic. He is the founder of Cambic Games. They make the game Licensed to Krill. The second judge was Heather O'Neill from Ninth Level Games. Her company makes the game Wrestlevania, which is a combo between wrestling and Castlevania, so wrestling and vampire hunting. The third judge, Brandon Osborne, is from Conhorde. They are also tied into tabletop gaming. The final judge, Jeff the Skywalker, an independent pro wrestler. This was a much different judge panel than what we've seen over the past couple of years. Those have been very heavily in the pro wrestling world. This was primarily a tabletop gaming judge panel. This is a much different perspective than what there had been previously. After seeing the videos, the votes are, starting off with Jeff the Skywalker, Rambopocalypse, going to Brandon Osborne, Rambopocalypse, going to Heather O'Neill, Rambopocalypse, which means he's won at this point. Matthew Cambic votes for Rambopocalypse. There's also a poll in the Twitch chat. I do not have the final results of that poll, but when I pulled it up during the actual broadcast, Rambopocalypse was in the lead. He had more votes than the Misfit and Mr. Rumble combined. So Rambopocalypse wins a sweep, gets every vote, including the fan vote. Congratulations to Rambopocalypse. Rambopocalypse will be creating a competitor in Super Show the Game. Now, I do not know if this will be a second competitor, because I have seen art that seems like there's going to be a Rambopocalypse anyway. So I don't know if this will go toward that, or if there'll be two versions of Rambopocalypse coming soon. But congratulations to Rambopocalypse. Looking at the videos, and I had not seen any of the videos except for the Misfits promo video, his cartoon video, prior to last Wednesday night on Twitch. Briefly, Misfits promo video was a cartoon where he was setting up some sort of concert celebration and everything went wrong, and in the end he had to perform a song that was just, cutting a promo for himself against Rambo Apocalypse and against Mr. Rumble. Rambo Apocalypse's video was one camera, him talking to the camera, just cutting a promo, why he should win, straightforward to the point. Mr. Rumble's video was kind of a photo montage with a voiceover talking about his life, his struggles, kind of giving you the background of Mr. Rumble. When the judges talked about the videos, what really impressed them was just what Rambo Apocalypse, personality-wise, was bringing to the table. Had you asked me before I saw these videos, I would have said probably the Misfit will win, just because in the past, it feels like production value has been a big factor in who wins. So seeing Rambo Apocalypse with the least production value of all of them win was a surprise, but he did sort of bring the most personality in his promo. And I think that helped especially with a more character-focused game creation crowd. I think that really helped out Rambo Apocalypse here. And so Rambo Apocalypse wins. Congratulations once again to Rambo Apocalypse for winning the CCC. Now, there is one concern I have coming out of this, and I've been thinking about this for a while, and that's this. Rambo Apocalypse has been the clear favorite since the beginning. Last year, Captain Kiddo, who won, clear favorite. The year before that, Lauren Santiago, clear favorites. And so I'm starting to worry about the CCC because it feels like underdogs don't have a chance. And I wonder if that's suppressing interest in participating. Because, as I've talked about on previous shows, every year the participation in the CCC goes down. It's been trending down every year. This year actually did not trend down, but only because of the 8 people from WWX. If you took those 8 people out, this year's CCC had the lowest participation of any CCC. And so I'm worried when I see the participation trending down and I see the clear favorite winning time after time, if that's not going to suppress participation even further. Because not everyone is going to be the favorites. And people have to believe if they're going to sign up and participate in this, they have a chance. And if the signal that keeps getting sent is underdogs can't win, will people see that and say, well, I'm not going to sign up. I don't have a chance. I don't know, but I worry about that. So I'm very happy for Rambo Apocalypse that he won, but I am worried about the trend of the favorite always winning, especially this year when the favorite didn't just win, they won everything. They won all the judge votes. They won the fan vote. It even put a harder emphasis on the favorite can't be beaten. And that, I don't like that. I think that is not good for the health of the CCC. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I hope I am because I love the CCC. I plan on re-entering JAC the next time if I'm allowed to. I've made the finals twice with JAC. Hopefully, if I go in again, the 2025 CCC, I can make the finals and maybe the underdog will win this year. That was your 2024 CCC finals. Again, congratulations to Rambo Apocalypse. Winning the CCC is a great accomplishment. You stuck it out through all this time, and it paid off for you. Once again, congratulations. Cookie's Fortune Update. We've reached the top 8. The top 4 in the world bracket, the top 4 in the underworld bracket. In this round of the Cookie's Fortune Tournament, all of the matches will be tables matches, one fall to a finish. In the world bracket, we'll see Zach Ashley playing as TVA Commissioner Drew Madsen take on the Cheetah playing as Rob Van Dam. And we'll see Chris Pate playing as Big Bad Bobby D take on General Lee Wong, playing as Mr. Poppin' Twist. In the Underworld bracket, we'll have Colin Simon, playing as Colin the Chrononaut, take on Simple Chuck, playing as Night Terror. And we'll have the GOAT Brock Smith, playing as Numero Uno, take on Harvey Lester, playing as the Man from IT. We also have a Faction Wars 6 update. In the matchup between the Constellation and the higher class, the Constellation has won. They will be going to the finals. In the matchup between the Crime Wave and the Line, the Crime Wave, last I saw, led by 1 point, 29-28. There's going to be a match between the Harm City Hitman, Andrew Meckie, representing the Line, and John Von Masek, representing Crime Wave. The winner of that could determine who joins the Constellation in the finals. I don't have information about who won. If that comes in before the show is published, I'll tack it on to the end of the show. I have a little news concerning Long Island Tabletop Gaming Expo. There's going to be a defense of the LFF Hardcore Championship at the Expo. The Italian Bombata, current champion, will be defending against the People's Casual, Thebes Pinckney, in a steel cage match. So that's something to look forward to when Long Island Tabletop Gaming Expo happens the first weekend in April. Tickets on sale now, online. Cheaper if you buy them online before the show. I think it's $48 for both days, Saturday and Sunday, April 5th and April 6th. One last thing before I talk about the online tournaments and featured matches from this past week. The SRG Boss is running a Triad event. I believe this is the event where if you buy a mystery box and you pull a copy of the winning ticket, the new competitor mystery box exclusive, and that copy has an entry ticket for the event with it, you get into the event. Here are the current entrants that we know of for the Triad event. The New York Phenom, Sean Carter, John Polverino, Johnny Eldorado, Customer Service Drin, Hold the Line Harry, the LFF Chiropractor, Titan, and Chris Tapley. Those are the 9 entrants we know about so far. I don't know if there will be more. 9 makes sense. 3 Triad matches. Winners face off in a Triad match. That makes sense to me, but I don't know it for sure. That's just my speculation. That's what we know about the upcoming Triad event. Now let's talk about the online tournaments and featured matches. We'll start Monday with Monday Night Fights. Underworld Division Tournament. All singles competitors outside of the World Division legal, subject to 2020 vision. 12 players signed up for the event. Group stages, 3 groups, 4 players per group. Each player plays the other 3 in the group. Top 2 records per group advance to the top cut. 2 players receive a bye to the semifinals. The remaining 4 have to play into the semifinals. Once we get to the semifinals, it's single elimination. There is a stipulation in the finals. It's a special guest referee match. Chief Coffee is the special guest referee. Because of that, certain competitors with gimmicks revolving around cards with Chop in the name, like Wait For It Chopper, were booked for this event. There was a 3rd place match, so we do have a top 4. The top 4 are in 4th place, playing as, I believe, the new version of Theo the Greek Neo, Ricky Riot. In 3rd place, playing as the new version of General Lee Wong himself. In 2nd place, playing as King Kong Dundee, we have the man behind King Kong Dundee, Robert the Brain Dunn, and the winner, playing as the winning ticket, John Polverino. Congratulations to John Polverino for winning Monday Night Fights. Thursday, we had a Boss Roddy Beatdown hosted by the SRG Boss. In this tournament, every player had to pick 4 entrance cards and 4 spectacle cards that they could use. Here's how that worked. So I'll give a little information before I get into that. 32 players, group stages, 8 groups, 4 players per group. So, in the group stages, a player had to, in that match, reveal one of his 4 entrance cards. Whichever one he revealed, he could not use that in any of the other group stage matches. He could use one spectacle. If he used that spectacle in the match, he couldn't use it in the other matches of the group stage portion. When they reached the top cut, all of that reset, but the same limit. Once an entrance was used, it couldn't be used again throughout the top cut. Once a spectacle was used, it couldn't be used again throughout the top cut. So back to the group stages, 8 groups of 4 players. Each player plays the other 3. Top 2 records per group advance to the top cut. So we have a top 16. In the top 16, all of the matches are dark matches. In the quarterfinal round, all of the matches are steel cage matches. In the semifinal round, all of the matches are steel chain matches that start at crowd meter 1. And the finals match, and I believe the third place match as well, was a Derby dog collar match that started at crowd meter 1. Your top 4 end up being in 4th place, playing as Back Hurtin', Young Allergy. In 3rd place, playing as Master Cringe, the Wolf Guardian. In 2nd place, playing as King Brian Cage, El Hombre Cybernetico, and the winner of the Boss Righty Beatdown, playing as General Manager of Christmas, Santa Claus, Practicite. So Practicite wins Boss Righty Beatdown. The other 3 players that were in his group, in the group stage portion, also received prizes because he went on to win the Boss Righty Beatdown. Congratulations, Practicite, for winning the Boss Righty Beatdown. Friday, there was an episode of Candy Shop Talk with a featured match for the Cringe Division Tag Team Championship, currently held by the Skyriders. The Skyriders were the team of the Nightmare King, playing as the Nightmare King, and the Wolf Guardian, playing as Master Cringe. Their challengers, Call of Dude T. The Dude, Sean Steiner, playing as Rainbow Girl, T playing as Diamond Danny G. Now, before this match happened, there was a signing for War Games. The Nightmare King and the Wolf Guardian were going to be signing to face the Misfit and the Misfits team. In a twist, the Misfit joins the Skyriders. The Nightmare King has the opportunity to leave the Skyriders. He decides to stay. So the Nightmare King, the Wolf Guardian, and now the Misfit are members of the Skyriders, and they may defend the championship, the Cringe Division Tag Team Championship, under Freebird rules when that happens. They will also be one faction in this War Games match whenever it happens. Not sure who the other 3 are at this point. Back to the Tag Team Championship match between Call of Dude T and the Skyriders. This match ends up going to crowd meter 1. The winner at crowd meter 1, still champions, the Skyriders. Congratulations to the Nightmare King and the Wolf Guardian for a successful defense. Saturday, Mr. Rumble hosts Saturday Night Rumble. In this tournament, all of the matches are Psycho Rules matches. All of the matches have a special guest referee of Big Match Pete. This means each player starts off the match with 6 cards in their hand, 3 of which they could have chosen before the match began, through the Psycho Rules stipulation. All of the matches also started at crowd meter 1. They had 10 players in the tournament. Group stages, 2 groups, 5 players per group. Each player plays the other 4 in the group. Top 2 records per group advance to the top cut. In the semifinal round, we had Colby Cram as Mr. Poppin' Twist take on Ricky Riot as Theo the Greek Neo, I believe the new version. And we have Eddie Fury as Mr. Las Vegas versus Robert the Brain Dunn as Mr. Hyde, with the winners moving on to the finals, Colby Cram and Eddie Fury. The winner of the finals match, winning the tournament, Colby Cram with Mr. Poppin' Twist. Congratulations to Colby Cram for winning with being able to start with 6 cards in your hand. This meant Mr. Poppin' Twist's gimmick was active from the moment the match started. So Great choice from Colby Cram in this particular format to pick Mr. Pop and Twist, and he uses it to take down the whole tournament. Congratulations to Colby Cram for winning Saturday Night Rumble. Sunday, we have Sunday Night Fights, and we have, after Sunday Night Fights, the Project Spider update. Before I get to that, very quickly, I made a mistake earlier. I said that Matthew Cambick's gaming company, the company that created License to Krill, was Cambick Games based on his last name. It's actually the first two letters of his first name and the first two letters of his last name, M-A-K-A Games. Now, they don't know if that's Maka, how that's pronounced, but that's the name of it. All right, now on to Sunday Night Fights. One match on the match card, a match for the LFF Triad Championship. The challengers, Ref Dave, playing as the bad boy Joey Janela, and Brock Smith, playing as the new version of the GOAT Brock Smith. The champion, Slade Holiday, champion with the new version of Jordan Oliver. Triad match, no other stipulation. It ends up going to crowd meter 2. The winner hitting the finish at crowd meter 2. I believe he also hit the finishes at crowd meter 0 and crowd meter 1, becoming the new LFF Triad champion, the GOAT Brock Smith. Congratulations to the GOAT. Match went about a half hour. The two challengers went at the champion throughout the match, and the strategy paid off for one of them, the GOAT Brock Smith. Once again, congratulations for walking away LFF Triad champion. Now on to Project Spider. We open with what they're calling the Tag Team Equity Rules. This is from the general manager of the Tag Team Division, Candy Ma'am, and her committee, the Piranhas. Basically, these are the things that you should keep in mind that are T50'd and will lead to a competitor that you're creating being put on the T50 list. The T50 list is a list of elements that are either banned from tag team competition or restricted to one per tag team or one per deck. Here are the things. Reroll gimmicks will be on the T50 list. Gimmicks that trigger if one roll is so many different than another roll. So things like Big Bad Bobby D, Ricky Riot, Zombie. Any gimmicks that copy other gimmicks like Mallory the Destroyer. Things like that will be on the T50 list. Any finishers that prevent an opponent from breaking out or prevent an opponent from increasing the number of breakout rolls or the value of the breakout rolls. Things like Death Choke. Those are on the T50 list. Cards and finishers where the opponent just wins the match if they hit. That's on the T50 list. All scallywag entrances, T50 list. All entrances with skill requirements, like the Ikuzo entrance gear cards, on the T50 list. Impact is family, rolling in with the ring general. Fate is on your side. Those are on the T50 list, and any potential future entrances similar enough to that, they will be on the T50 list as well. The anti-tag cards at 7 through 9 and 19 through 21 that prevent things like double teaming, saving, protecting, they're limited to one per deck. Those are on the T50 list. We have some permanent bookings. Grim, the Mark Jeff Bravo, and Combat Chris are permanently booked. And just a reminder that each player in a tag team match must target a different opponent. So if you have the team of A and B versus C and D, if A targets C for the gimmick, entrances, things like that, B must target D. B cannot also target C. That's the tag team update. Now on to the general Project Spider update. This update will be in effect until June. When the June update comes, it will take into account everything between now and June 1st for determining any changes. This will affect the virtual Grand Gathering that is taking place Memorial Day weekend. General updates. Going forward, anytime a competitor is released, it will be instantly put into a division. Previously, competitors that came out were not put into a division until the next Project Spider update. Project Spider will now make sure they are putting competitors in divisions upon release. These updates will be put on the master list as soon as possible. The master list containing all of the changes they announced tonight should be releasing soon. Additionally, with these new division assignments, if for some reason the competitor coming out is a new version of a previous competitor, that does not mean they will end up in the same division. So as an example, there's a new version of General Lee Wong. The division that General Lee Wong version 2 is going into is not necessarily the same division that version 1 is already in. They could be the same, but they could also be different. The Super Lucha division will be releasing in June in time for the Super Lucha cards to release. They also announced that the point system for how they determine what competitors are in the World and Underworld division has been revised. It will be easier to move from the Underworld division to the World division. It will be harder to go from being outside of the Underworld division, outside of the World division, to go directly into the World division. Regarding promotions, 2 competitors were promoted into the World division. Loudmouth Leo Larynx is leaving the Underworld division. Adriana D, Queen of Cheer, is leaving the United States division. In order to keep the World division at 32 competitors, Slime Girl and AJ Styles will go to the Underworld division. There are also a number of competitors being promoted to the Underworld division. We have the Master Strategist and Father Light leaving the United States division, going to Underworld. We have Bjorn the Norseman and Wendigo leaving the Intergalactic division, going to Underworld. We have Chris Bay and Kenny Omega leaving the Global division and going to Underworld. And we have Brett the Metalhead, King Kong Dundee, and Split leaving the Hardcore division, going to Underworld. Side note, Kenny Omega is the competitor that Matt Nealon earned his shot at the LFF World Heavyweight Championship with, but because Kenny Omega is not in the World division, right now, Matt Nealon cannot challenge for that championship with Kenny Omega. Will he get to challenge with another competitor in the World's division? Will he have to hold off on his challenge until Kenny Omega is promoted? We'll have to see. That's where we are right now with that. Because 10 competitors are moving into the Underworld division, 10 competitors have to leave the Underworld division. So, the following competitors are leaving the Underworld division. There were 8 that were a consensus from the Project Spider Committee. Copycat, El Llama and Masquerada Senor, The Next Supreme, Johnny Correa, Quadruple H, EC3, Johnny Gargano, and Merlin Von Berlin. Now, 2 of those competitors, EC3 and Copycat, have versions with different gimmicks. They will not necessarily go into the same division. They could be split into different divisions. There were 5 where there was no consensus. Najamai, Night Terror, Papa Wheelie, Ricochet, and Colt Cabana. 2 of those competitors were chosen at random through a spin of the wheel on the computer. Those 2 competitors leaving are Papa Wheelie and Colt Cabana. Because there are multiple versions, those versions could be in different divisions, although in the case of Colt Cabana, they're likely both going to Global. Now, because there were competitors promoted to the Underworld division, the people most responsible for promoting those will get a shot at getting a shot at the LFF Underworld Championship. There will be 5 matches. The winners of each of these matches will get a future shot at the LFF Underworld Championship. All these matches must be played online by June 1st, with one exception. In the last update, 12 Grat Matt got a shot with Ricochet if he won a match. Because he does not really play online, the decision was made to allow him to play for his potential shot at the championship in an in-person match at Origins Game Fair in June. So he will face Matt Nealon playing as Kenny Omega, 12 Grat Matt playing as Ricochet. The winner gets a future shot at the LFF Underworld Championship. The rest of the matches for future championship shots are the Harm City Hitman, Andrew Mackey, as King Kong Dundee, versus John Von Masek as Brett the Metalhead, Ricky Riot as the Master Strategist, versus Trey Cantrell as Wendigo. Now, Ryan Pierce actually earned the shot, but Ryan Pierce was allowed to name someone to take his place because he doesn't own Wendigo. He named Trey Cantrell to take his place. Father Light as Father Light versus Bjorn the Norseman as Bjorn the Norseman, and Colby Cram as Chris Bay versus HR as Split. Those are the matchups. The winners get future shots at the LFF Underworld Championship. Coming up this week, we have Monday Night Fights Open Division Tournaments, no stipulations, 30-minute time limit per match. We have Wednesday Night Ignite, a tag team match, Simple Chuck and Colby Cram versus the Enforcer and a mystery opponent. We have no Candy Shop Talk, but Friday night, Kang Trell versus the tag team of Colin Simon and the Hogfather. That'll be a featured match. Saturday, we have Big Picture Premium presenting their pay-per-view Spring Breakdown. Matches there will include the Old School Open Finals, the AC Online Championship match, and the Hollywood Heavyweight Championship match. We have the UCW's monthly online event. You can sign up for that on supershowthegame.com under events, under online events. That's hosted by the Foreman. And the next Sunday Night Fights, 4 matches on the card. A match for the United States Championship, the finals match of the Trios Tournament of Champions, a Trios Championship match, the LFF Trios Championship match, and the LFF Underworld Championship match. Outside of that, I expect we'll have Dojos Tuesday night, twitch.tv/SRGuniverse. I expect we'll have Thursday Night Fights, but nothing official yet. Watch the SRG Super Show discussion group on Facebook. Watch supershowthegame.com to see if those go up. With that being said, that is going to do it for this week's episode of the Outlaw Mudcast. I would like to thank all of you for listening, and good day.